Hi everyone, my name is Cassie Crisano. Those of you that have been following me knows a little bit about what's been going on in my life, in my private life and professional life. I'm making this video today to let everybody know what the status is of my current situation. As you all know, I was involved in the last 7 months in a custody battle, domestic issue, with my partner, who I was with for 9 years, who is a police officer with Prince George's County Police Department. We had a couple incidences that had gone on with assault. I was assaulted by this police officer sexually, physically, and mentally, as well as being threatened with his status as a police officer. Numerous times he threatened to have me locked up, abuse of his powers as a police officer. And I was threatened that if I went to the police or filed any criminal charges, that nobody would do anything because of his status as a police officer with Prince George's County Police Department. You all know my custody battle is over, what I've been going through for the past 7 months. And I decided to go down after the custody was over, and I filed charges with the Office of the State's Attorney for Caroline County in regards to sexual assault that my ex-partner had done to me prior to all this occurring. I went down, I filed my charges. I have supporting documentation, evidence, text messages, emails, proof showing that these incidents really did occur. And I put my trust in the court system. Once again, I was disappointed. And I came home today after filing these charges. You're supposed to contact the Caroline County State's Attorney's Office within 5 business days to meet with them and to provide them with whatever supporting evidence, text messages, emails that you have in regards to your claims for your filing for a criminal case, okay? So I contacted the Office of the State's Attorney for Caroline County within 5 business days to set up an appointment to go in to meet with whatever attorney was to be handling this case. Last Friday I called and I was advised that a attorney would be calling me back today, Monday, this evening. Coming home, I got my mail and I received a paper from Caroline County Court from the State's Attorney's Office saying that due to lack of prosecutorial merit, the above referenced case to the criminal docket at the court's earliest convenience, due to the lack of prosecutorial merit, kindly add the above referenced case to the criminal docket at the court's earliest convenience for the purpose of entering a null prosecute. That means that they're not going to go ahead and prosecute. That means that nobody from the Caroline County Office of State's Attorney even bothered to look into the supporting documentation that I have. Once again, text messages, emails from the individual that did what he did to me. I was told by this individual before, which I also have documented evidence saying that if I did try to do anything through the court system, that nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to even bother to look into it, and that it was just going to get thrown out. Once again, that individual, who's a Prince George's County police officer in Prince George's County, Maryland, was correct. They dismissed the charges without even talking to me. How does that happen? How does that happen in this day and age? I mean, is that fair? Somebody files charges, which I had every right to go down and file charges against an individual, whether they're a police officer or not, who did something to me, who sexually assaulted me, and who refused to let me leave a room. And I have documented evidence in text messages and in emails of these incidents happening, but the charges were null pros without even talking to me, without even seeing the evidence that I have. Does that not violate my rights as a United States citizen? Do I not get my due process? Do I not get my rights? Why? Because he's a police officer and because he has friends within the county and friends within the police department, do I not get my fair shake at what's right and what's wrong? Does that make him exempt from violating the same laws that we have to abide by? How does that happen? On top of that, for the past 7 months, I had to keep quiet during my custody case. I had to sit back and not say what this individual had done to me and my children for the past 9 years. The past year and a half, I received emails with drugs, pictures of drugs that this police officer in Prince George's County took off the streets from criminals, okay? From criminals. He took this off the streets and then sent me emails, which any law enforcement agency, anybody can go and check these emails and have these pulled to see that they're in fact the truth. Sending me emails saying, wow, Casey, you're done. I'm going to have your ass locked up. Emails, people, emails, okay? This officer can threaten me with my life and having me locked up and get away with it. How does that seem fair? Not once, but numerous times. And I have papers to prove that, emails to prove that, which can also be verified, okay? Now, when do I get my justice? When do I get my justice against this Prince George's County police officer who's taking everything from me and my kids for the past 9 years? Who's going to listen to me and see what's been going on? Haven't we suffered enough? Don't we deserve to be put back together as whole after everything that we've been subjected to for the past 9 years? If you all remember back in January, when this all started, this police officer from Prince George's County, Maryland, went down and initiated a protective order on me. He filed a false protective order, committed perjury, okay? Committed perjury, and wrote in the protective order that me, Casey, had punched him in the mouth. Okay, let me see. Punched him in the mouth and cracked his front tooth in November 21st, 2011, okay? He wrote this in his own handwriting to obtain a protective order against me to keep me away from my 7-year-old son. At the time, he was 6. Okay, so my 6-year-old son. So, what did Casey do? Casey obtained medical documentation from his own dentist saying that on 11/22, okay, so remember this, 11/21, he says, I cracked his front tooth by punching him in the mouth. That's how he obtained a protective order on me in the circuit court for Caroline County, okay? But on 11/22, this individual went at 12:22 p.m., okay, and went to the dentist and got his tooth repaired. And on the dentist notes, it says, emergency visit trauma at work. He was hit in the face while arresting someone. No pain, no percussion or palpitation. He's not having pain to hot and cold. Teeth are not mispositioned. Okay, so how can an officer of the law go down and obtain a legal protective order on a false lie when I have documentation that he lied and get away with it? Get away with committing perjury in our courts. That's okay. So, right now we have assault. He gets away with sexually assaulting me. He gets away with committing perjury, taking my son and holding my son from me on lies that I can prove. But nobody's looking into it, okay? Nobody's looking into it right now, okay? Puts on my protective order and on the motion for custody that I was diagnosed bipolar, okay? So I go to my doctor and I get a letter from them saying that I've never, ever been diagnosed bipolar. And then I get a letter from his doctor saying that this officer has general anxiety disorder and is unstable. Unstable from his doctor, okay? He's the one diagnosed with a mental disorder. He's the one diagnosed with being unstable, but nobody wants to look into it. Nobody cares because he's a police officer. and he can do whatever he wants. So he can commit perjury. He can have a mental disorder, and he can assault somebody and get away with it. And nobody looks into it. That's okay. That is quite okay. So Casey does what Casey does. Casey fires up a letter and an email to his employer. Prince George's County Police sends over text messages, emails, everything that they need to see that their officer has assaulted me. I told them numerous times, not once or twice, but numerous times, that he has sexually assaulted me, he's physically abused me, and he's mentally abused me, and he's threatened me with his job. Text messages that his police department has threatening me with the police department saying, go ahead, contact Prince George's County Police Department. They're not going to care. They're not going to do anything. He even goes so far as to put in officers' names on text message. Lieutenant or Sergeant Parpalarchek and Lieutenant Alexander. He puts their names in there. LOL, laugh out loud. Contact them. See what they're going to do about it because they don't care. Well, apparently they don't care. Apparently the judicial system has failed me and my children once again. And apparently they think that I'm just going to go away. Well, I'm not. I'm not going away. I'm going to make sure that everybody knows and everybody sees what's going on. It's called corruption, people. Corruption. Corruption in a small town and in a big agency with Prince George's County Police Department. I am not going away, and I'm going to fight. If I got to make a video every day, if I got to walk in to the FBI headquarters, you may think I'm crazy. I'm far from crazy. I'm fighting for my children. I'm fighting for myself, and I'm fighting for my rights against a government agency, against a police department, against a corrupt court system, against everyone. And I'm not going away. I don't care if this takes me the rest of my life to fight this battle. I'm going to fight it. I am not giving in, and I'm not giving up, and I'm not going to allow a police officer or government agency abuse me and get away with it. I did 9 years of my life with a police officer from Prince George's County that got away with doing what he did to me and my children. And I'm not backing down anymore. I hope that people can help support me, share this video, and get it out there. I'm going to put more evidence. I'm going to put as much documentation as I can on my blogs until somebody helps me speak out. I'm going to keep fighting this battle. Thank you for listening to me.